It's a tale as old as time. Suburban bakery holds sex show for children and then loses tons of money and is about to go out of business. Ah, yes, the old trope of, wait, what? You know, I saw this story and we talked a little bit about it last night on the Timcast members only show. Become a member at timcast.com to support our work. Get access to our Discord, hang out in the chat, and shout out to the Elite Club, which is, it's costly for a lot of people, I understand. But the Timcast.com members who are at $100 or more get access to the Elite Club, which I shouldn't say this necessarily because it should just be if you're in the club, you know. But I think we're going to do like dev access stuff. So access to our early apps and video games and things like that. If you want to join, the idea is to create a social club. But become a member. We got 1,500 plus members in the Discord who are all talking and hanging out, sharing ideas. We'd love to have you, and we could use your support as members. So anyway, I digress. Here's the news story. We talked about this last night. Suburban bakery targeted after planning drag show could soon close due to horrific harassment. Harassment's bad. Okay, I don't like that. But the story is actually really simple. A bakery tried having a sex show for children. That's what it is. And then people stopped buying from them. Okay, there you go. Now, to be fair, there was some other stuff, right? Windows got smashed. Not a good thing. They say they're being harassed. I don't believe them. They're saying that because of the costs and because there was no support from government, they may go out of business. What they failed to say is that it may be that the same people who are harassing them are the people who used to give them money, and now they're not getting money anymore because they wanted to have a sex show for kids. How does that work? Here's NBC Chicago. A suburban bakery that was targeted after announcing plans to host a family-friendly drag brunch may now close due to what the bakery's owner described as horrific harassment that no business should endure. I'll say it again. I'll say it every single time. I don't care about drag shows. You want to have a drag show, that's fine. Just no kids. Because drag is burlesque. Now you're saying, we can have a family-friendly burlesque show. And I'm like, no, you can't. You weirdos. Uprising Bakery and Cafe in Lake Hills said it plans to close on March 31st if it cannot make up for losses it has experienced since it became the center of controversy in July 2022. Closing our doors is the direct result of the horrific attacks, endless harassment, and unrelenting negative misinformation about our establishment in the last 8 months. Owner Karina Sack said in a statement, I don't really care what you have to say, to be honest, lady. You wanted to have a sex show for kids, so you should go out of business. Uprising Bakery and Cafe first made headlines last summer when the bakery scheduled a drag show brunch that was set to be for all ages. In what would eventually become part of a national trend, the bakery was quickly targeted with hateful comments and fake negative reviews, and later threats of violence and vandalism. And it sounds very much like Antifa. To be honest, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Stop giving them money. That works. Harassment, violence, and vandalism. Not a fan. The ADL says blah, 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 of course. Since the vandalism and canceled drag show, Sachs said she has faced ongoing threats, horrific harassment, vandalism, and a lack of support from local government to mitigate the abuse, all of which has led to a decline in sales. Oh, no. How has the harassment led to a decline in sales? Here's my question. Somebody sends you an angry email. Does then your customer find out and not show up? It's like I own a hot dog stand and people keep texting me that I smell bad. But then the people who normally come to buy burgers aren't. It's because of those dang people complaining. No, maybe you smell bad and nobody wants to buy from you. And the people who normally do are the ones texting you saying you smell bad. It's amazing. Sack, who identifies as bisexual, said the business would need more than $30,000 to keep its doors open. Everything I have is in this business, our home, cars, retirement savings. We put everything we had on the line and personally secured this location, our equipment, and our dreams, she said. If your dream was to have sex shows for kids, then I'm sorry you invested in something so stupid. Look, man, I feel for any failing business. And maybe by me doing this video, the left, who monitors my videos and gives me views, thank you, by the way, will rally something for them. So be it, fine. I don't like violence and vandalism. I don't like harassment, but a decline in sales, I'm happy to hear it. Y'all can try and save it if you want. The bakery plans to continue to host several events and fundraisers through the end of the month, with the hopes to keep the doors open, and if nothing else, reduce some of the debt. For its final 2 days open, the business asks that customers tip the same amount as their bill in an attempt to help employees left without a job following the closure. I'm going to do the opposite. I am going to request that anybody in the area specifically avoid this bakery, and that's it. Don't give them any money. Simple as that. I don't care for protests, not in this regard. I think the best thing for this business is to slowly fade away and cease to exist. I wish to thank every single one of you who have defended us, protected us, and supported us. I'm asking for one more favor. Help me send off our staff a little financial protection. The Tip the Bill campaign will help, as all funds will be split amongst the staff. The goal is to give them each equivalent of one extra paycheck to see them through to their next venture. Sack said despite the closure, she plans to continue to share her story and fight to keep others from experiencing what she did. If we have to go out, we'll go out with a bang and make it long-lasting and positive. I will do everything I can to make sure what happened to my American dream doesn't happen to anyone else. No, you won't. You will do nothing. There's nothing you can do about the fact that your business is going under because you made terrible decisions. I think what we are seeing here is you reap what you sow. Also, we can see that it's 50 degrees in Chicago. Well, that's really nice. How's it going in Chicago? Been a long time. I haven't been back in a while. But this is pretty inspiring. It's pretty inspiring. And I can say it a million times. The harassment, the violence, that stuff we don't want. But you can see what they're trying to do. This woman, I'm assuming woman, is saying that it's really about the harassment because maybe the business just sucks. What I think we have here is more likely to be, I would imagine this to be more like a hate crime hoax. I'm willing to bet the business just sucks. It's going out of business because it's garbage. Their bagels probably suck or whatever it is they sell. And they're using this as an excuse to try and make some money because that's what they do. I would not be surprised to find out that this bakery, come on, July 2022, it's been a long time. And you're still struggling? It's March. I think they're lying. I think what really happened is, yeah, perhaps the drag thing had a backlash. And now months have gone by and nobody buys from the crackpot sex show for kids bakery. And they're like, let's blame it on the right. Let's turn it into a hate crime hoax. You know what, man? Nobody went to go see that movie Bros. You know the movie Bros? It was Billy, what's his name? Billy Eichner or whatever. He's a gay dude who did a movie. It was a gay rom-com. And he was like, I need you all to go see it. And then nobody did, and it didn't make any money. And why? Because there's very few people who can relate to that. Get woke, go broke. You try making a movie like this, and people are like, I don't want to watch it. Women want to relate to the experience of, you know what? I was thinking about this when it comes to movies and stuff. We talked about it last night. A little bit, I think. I talked about it with someone. I think it was on IRL. I'm not sure. And I was saying like the male power fantasy is to save the world. And the meme is that the female power fantasy is to do whatever she wants, but get the man anyway. And someone said, that's not true. And I was like, I don't really think about it, actually. They said the female power fantasy is in the superhero movie too. And I was like, that's an interesting point, actually. If the female experience is you love a man who is fighting to save the world, that does make sense to me. That's why in these movies, the hero is Spider-Man. He wants to be with Mary Jane. Mary Jane has her own aspirations, but her conflict is the relationship with Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's conflict is the villains in balancing a relationship. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is the fantasy of men and women. The man wants to save the world and win the girl, and the girl wants to be with the superhero man. She has her own aspirations too. I don't know why there's a negative view of that. What's wrong with a woman wanting to be with the best man possible? The guy wants to be with the best woman possible, right? The hot chick who's sassy or strong or a spy like James Bond, wants to get, the woman. And the woman wants to be with the superhero. Who wouldn't? Suppose the idea is we started telling all the women you want to be the superhero. But I think the actual fantasy is in the social connection for the women and the objective for the man. Anyway, I digress. I think this is more likely to be a hoax. That's my point. These people are trying to use politics so that stupid people say, oh, the far right is doing this all again. That dang old far right, when in reality, right-wingers are probably moved on from this place and don't care. They're seeing the current trend in the current press. It's been almost a year since they did this sex show for kids. So what's really going on? Sales are down. They couldn't make it through winter. Their business sucks. And they're going to blame politics because they are evil. That's my opinion. I don't know exactly if that's what they're doing. Fine. but they straight up said no sales. Well, so be it. That's your fault. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up in a few minutes. Stick around and I'll see you all shortly.